Hi guys. Happy Monday. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. It's funny because I haven't really been watching movies. Like back in the day I used to always watch movies, and that's all I would literally do on the weekends. Like if I didn't work, then I'll be at home watching movies, and that actually satisfied me. And so I haven't been able to do that. I haven't really been able to do that. It's been like a while since I've been able to do that. And so that's what I did this weekend. And it felt great. I think it's important to do certain things like that for yourself, things that make you happy at least, because as far as like your passions and things like that, because that's another thing that can contribute to your happiness, even if you don't get paid for it or anything like that. But it's still good to go after your passions, because it wouldn't fail you. If anything, it'll make you more excited, because, or even content, because you're doing stuff that you actually are passionate about, right? Versus just going to work 9 to 5 every day and just not pursuing anything else other than that. I still work too, but at the same time I still try to find time for my passions, because that's what actually fulfills me. And yeah, I work because of things that I need, but at the same time I still work towards my passions. Even if I don't get paid for it, I still do it because it's a passion, so it's not dreadful for me, to do. It's something I actually like to do. And so as I work on my passions at the same time, it just contributes to my happiness, And so I think it's important to work on your passions too at the same time, so that way you don't feel limited to just one thing, a 9 to 5, And plus, on top of that, when you work on your passions, that's how we get a lot of inventors and stuff, and different things that people create that no one else actually thought of, because, people that follow their passions, if we didn't have people that follow their passions, there would be a lot of things that wouldn't be invented at this point, So it's good for people to, I think it's good for people to pursue their passions too, because you just never know how you can change your world, Even the comedians and everything, I watched a lot of their interviews and things like that too, and they were saying how they worked a lot on their passions. It wasn't easy for them neither, but at the same time they either worked or they didn't work. Maybe they just put all their work into their passions, but a lot of them became really successful because they actually put the work into their passion versus not doing anything at all. And so that's how you're able to be successful, is if you actually work towards it, and just don't think that the only thing that you can do is work from 9 to 5 and that's it, because I think I felt limited thinking like that back in the day. It limited my views and on certain things, And so the more that I work towards my passions, though, it actually helped expand my happiness and my views as well, as far as the work community goes. It's important to do that, but it's also important to work on your passions, because you just never know. You could be the next person to change the world, in a great way, because you worked on your passions, and you might have an idea that no one else has thought of, or even thought of creating, that could actually change the whole world. So we do need people like that to continue to work on our ambitions and goals and passions and stuff, because, things aren't going to stay the same forever, and we do need new ideas and stuff, and there's people out there with great minds, but they might be too busy, you know, to even try to pursue their passions and stuff, you know. But even just like a little bit at a time each day will work, you know, because over time it'll increase, and you can look back on your work, you know, regardless if you get paid or not, you know, and just have that for yourself. Even with the support too, like a lot of times, especially when I first started my videos and stuff, I didn't really have a lot of support. I didn't really have as far as like people saying, you know, keep going, oh my god, do a video today, or that video is so amazing, or you should continue to your videos. I didn't really have support like that. And so, but I supported myself, you know, because it was a passion, first of all. And so I wasn't really looking for that support, you know. It was a passion, so it was something that I wanted to do that actually fulfilled me, if that makes sense. And so it didn't matter how many views I got or how many followers I had. It didn't really dissuade me or make me like fall off as far as my videos or anything like that, because of the fact that it was a passion, or it is a passion. And I enjoy doing it, you know. So regardless of how many likes I get, regardless of how many followers I get, I continue to do my videos because, you know, I have faith in myself. And I really don't, like, if I get support from others, it's good, right? But at the same time, I'm still okay if I don't, you know. And it's not going to stop me because of my mindset, I guess, because it's a passion. And I just know it'll probably help someone out there, you know. So regardless if I have support or not, I always support myself, and I know that God support me. And I've done hundreds of videos where, like hundreds of them, where I didn't really get support the whole time, and I still did hundreds of videos, you know, without support. But that's because I have faith in myself and God too. Like, I know God supports me, so that's all that really matters to me. It doesn't bring me down or anything like that, because it's a passion. Maybe if I was working on a 9 to 5 every day, that would probably bring me down, especially if I wasn't able to express myself through my passions or do something different, you know, on top of working. So but I always have faith in God, and I know that he has faith in me. And that's why I always have the strength to get up and do a video for you guys whenever I can, you know. But I don't think I'll fully give up on it. And I know God's within everything, right? Because, you know, I witnessed a lot of things whenever I was traveling in 2020. I know last time I spoke on it, my last video regarding the moths. But there's a lot of things I witnessed in 2020 when I was driving, you know, and traveling and stuff. And another thing that I witnessed that was crazy to me was what was it? So when I was traveling, I mentioned this on my podcast, but not too much on here, I don't think. But when I was traveling in 2020 on the highway, there was a lot of things that were shown to me as I was driving. So I got a lot of visions and stuff. And this is before I experienced all the moths in Arizona. So like when I was traveling, I think I was getting closer to Vegas, I think. So I think I was in Utah. And it's weird. You guys will be able to hear it on my podcast. I don't want to go too far into it because I already spoke about it on my podcast, but I'm just going to cover a little bit on it, you know. So like when I was driving, there was a lot of downloads that I received as I was driving in 2020, traveling through Utah. And things always happen to me when I travel through Utah a lot. And so the first time I witnessed it was whenever I was on my way to Cali. So I was driving through Utah. It was getting night. It was dark outside, I think, and I was experiencing a lot of spiritual things. And so while I was driving, and one thing I experienced was like my phone literally, I was listening to music and everything, and then my phone literally just vanished. Like everything on my phone just kind of went away. It went blank, right? And all of a sudden, the only thing that popped up was these two astrologists, and they're wearing all white, and they're talking to me. Like literally, my phone like literally cut off, right? And then like my phone went blank, and then when it came back on, I just seen these two astrologists. It was a man and a woman, and when they popped up on my phone, they were saying, this is how they popped up. So they popped up and they were like, welcome to New Earth. And I was just like, what? You know, I was looking at my phone like, what? And they were like, welcome to New Earth. And I think it was on YouTube, right? But everything on my YouTube was blank. Like my history was gone. Even the music I was listening to before it went blank was gone. I had no history, nothing except for the astrologists. And they popped up and they said, welcome to New Earth. And remind you guys, this is in March of 2020. And so I was just like, what? And I was already dealing with a lot while I was driving before. You know, I was already experiencing a lot of spiritual things while I was driving before this happened. And so when they popped up, I was just like, New Earth. You know, I was just like, what? And so they just kept telling me all this information. So they popped up and they said, welcome to New Earth. And I was like, what? And they were like, they started telling me how all of the tarot readers that were abusing their abilities and sending negativity and chaos to other individuals through their videos, and if they were doing it in private and everything like that, I was going to see their channels disappear, and their platforms are just going to be gone off of YouTube. And that's how I would know which tarot reader was doing the dark magic, right? And they said that even the individuals that were doing black magic too, to harm other people as well, they're all going to be stuck in a different paradigm. That's what they said. And they're not going to be able to be a part of the New Earth, right? And so as I'm listening to this, because at the time, I did listen to tarot at the beginning a lot more because, I mean, I was getting a lot of information. They would do videos and tell me all this stuff, right? So I was just like, what? So I didn't know a lot about tarot at that time. And so I didn't know that they were doing certain things like that until 2020, March. And that's what the astrologist was telling me, right? And so I was just like, what? And they were saying like how they're not going to be able to be a part of New Earth, and anybody that was doing dark magic on people to harm their families and things of that sort, they're not going to be a part of the New Earth neither. They're going to be stuck in a separate paradigm. And they're just telling me all this stuff about the world and the New Earth, right? And so I thought it was strange because at that time I never heard of the New Earth or anything, you know. It was just weird how they popped up and just said, welcome to New Earth, you know, and they started telling me all this information. And so I was kind of like, I wasn't freaking out, but I was kind of like, why is this happening? Like, who are these people? And they were wearing all white, right? And so as I kept driving, you know, I remember I had purchased this pyramid at the Dinosaur Resource Center in February for my twins' birthday. I took them there and I got a pyramid. It was like this little mini pyramid and it was brown, and I placed it on my dashboard when I don't know why I did that, but I thought it was cool. So I put it on my dashboard. So I had it there the whole time I was driving, right? So after astrologists were telling me this information, I just kept driving, right? And it's like I was still present. So I was still driving, but I was having visions, I guess, as I was driving through Utah. And another vision I got was I was listening to my spiritual music pretty much, and as I'm driving, all of a sudden, like, I just see myself inside of this pyramid, and like, I was like on the top of the pyramid, but like in the midsection before the tip of the pyramid, I think they call it the obelisk. I don't know, but I think it's the obelisk, which is the very tip of the pyramid. It was like right under that, so it was almost in the center of the pyramid, but not really. And I was inside of it though, and I remember I was there was sand everywhere, but it was clean. But I seen a lot of ancient drums. Like, they're really tall drums that were set on the ground, but they're really ancient, right? And my music sounded more ancient, so it changed as far as the tone, and it sounded more ancient, right? And so I was just like, this is crazy. But it was the same music, but it was ancient, and I was just like, this is cool, right? And I seen the guy, he's like banging on these drums, and I was dancing to the beat inside the pyramid, and like, all of a sudden I just hear all these people like celebrating me, and they're just like, they're saying yay, yay, and they're like celebrating me, and they're like, it's the return of Inika. But the weird thing is, like, it sounded like my name, but it was different. My name was different, and they were just celebrating me, and I was just like dancing in this pyramid, and everybody was super happy. It was a celebration. And so when it was over, my phone kind of went blank, and it just went back to YouTube, but my YouTube was like still blank. Like, there was still no history, not even of the astrologist. It was just blank. And so I had to literally search for things, you know, to actually pop up on my phone. And so I witnessed a lot while I was traveling and stuff, you know. I even seen I think the next day I was seeing crosses everywhere. And remind you, I understand that there are crosses on the side of the highway a lot, because a lot of people pass away while they drive and stuff, right? I understand that, but it was excessive. Like, there are white crosses everywhere. Like, I will look to the side and just see like 3 white crosses. There'd be like short ones or medium-sized ones or tall ones everywhere. Like, off to the side, there'd be like 3 crosses, white crosses, next to each other. And then I'll keep driving, and I'll look over and I see another cross, and I'm just like, there's a lot of white crosses, and a lot of people must have died on this highway, right? And so when I got to Los Angeles, when I finally got to Los Angeles, there was more crosses. I seen crosses everywhere, or drove, and I was just like, is this normal? Like, in my head, you know, I was just like, is this really, are there really crosses everywhere, or is this a vision? You know, because they were everywhere. And I tell you guys, they were everywhere. And I understand that there might be some, but this was excessive. Especially, it was worse in Los Angeles. That's where I seen most of the crosses. And they're all white, and they'll just be over to the side by themselves, like 3 by themselves over here. And you look down, there's another 3. You look over here, there's like 3 more, 2 more. It was just everywhere. It was really excessive. And I didn't know if that was normal or not. If I was just seeing a vision, or if that was really there, because, you know, what I seen with the astrologist too was a vision, you know. So I'm not for sure, but I don't know what that meant. But, you know, there was a lot of deaths that were occurring around that time because the corona, you know, was really fresh. So a lot of people were passing away. But I don't know if that's what it represented or what, you know. But I know I've seen a lot of crosses. There's a lot, you know. And I don't know, but I know, like, through my whole journey, you know, I drove a lot. Like, to be honest with you guys, I traveled a lot, and I travel when I work as well. And I don't even recall even having not one accident this whole time. What, 4 years? And no accident. Any dents on my car was probably from me, probably like going down rocks too fast or something, but I have no accidents, and my car still looks good, you know. And I drove a lot, like for real, and it only has to be God, because I'm like, how did I not get nothing on my car at all? Like, nothing happened to me that was detrimental to my health or anything like that neither. And it has to be God, you know. It can't be anybody, anything else other than God. Because I drove a lot. Like, it's ridiculous how much I've drove, like, this whole time. And I'm still okay. It has to be God, you know. And so, it's God I believe in. That's why my faith is so strong, too. Because He's helped me through a lot of situations where you would think I would be hurt. Or you would think I would have had an accident by now. Or just crazy things that you would think like I would be worse off than I am now, you know. And so that does nothing but increase my faith, you know, in Him, knowing that I will be okay too, on top of that. And then like later I learned, like, whenever you have balance, your equilibrium is balanced. So whenever you have things balanced within your life, right, it helps you be able to avoid accidents and certain things that are detrimental to your health or to yourself, right? So it actually shields you in a way because you are so balanced, right? So that's why it's important to try to stay balanced and do certain things in a balanced way, even every day. Like, it's not easy, right? Because nothing is easy, but if you try to balance things out each day, over time it'll get easier and it'll just become like a routine to you. And I know in the tablets they're saying, like, when your equilibrium is balanced, that's when you can avoid accidents and certain things that are detrimental to you that will harm you, right? It's like it's almost eliminated because you're so balanced. In some way it'll be eliminated to where it won't touch you. And so when your equilibrium isn't balanced, when you're not balanced, or you're unbalanced in certain areas, that's when you start noticing certain things happening to you, such as accidents or things of that manner, you know. But when you're balanced, it's harder for it to touch you. And so that's why it's good to stay balanced, or try to at least work on that. And I think I was pretty balanced. Maybe not so much in the beginning, but over time I learned how to be balanced, you know. And I think that's another factor that helped me as far as avoiding accidents and things of that sort or nature, you know. But of course, God, I always give Him the #1 spot, because without Him I probably wouldn't even be here, to be honest. So that's why my faith is so strong. But that's why I always continue to do my videos regardless of how many likes I get. I don't even look at that, to be honest. I just look at, like, what did I do last time I did a video? Okay, what I'm gonna do next. That's usually my thoughts. On top of working and doing whatever other things, you know, to help me out with my videos. But it's always good to work on your passions, because you never know, like, who you might end up coming, you know. So even if you have to work a 9 to 5, it's good to, like, put a little bit of effort into your passions too, because you just never know, you know. And you won't know unless you try, you know, instead of not trying at all. So that way you can be happier too. I know I'm happier because I do certain things that actually make me happy, such as my videos or dancing or anything, you know. But yeah, I don't know. But I want to just come wish you guys a good week, and I don't want to talk you guys' heads off too much. But yeah, hopefully you guys have a good week and stay as positive as you can be, and always work on your passions, because you never know what you might become. And you never know what the world might need, you know, because everybody is unique. you know, and everybody has certain gifts that other people might not have that could actually help the world, you know. So if you think back to all the great inventors and everything, of all those inventors and the comedians, the musicians, they all started somewhere, and they may have had to work too, but they still never gave up on their passions. And because of that, that's why we have them to help us. So it's good for you guys to do that too. And that's why I do this too, because I love it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'm gonna go vibe out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.